This was my dream job. Working here in the mansion as Ivy Crane's personal secretary. I never wanted anything as much as this except Ethan. Mama warned me I'd get my heart broken if I stayed.
Theresa is hardly a threat to you, darling. She means nothing to me.
That's not what it looked like, Ethan.
Gwen, it was a silly accident. And there could never be anything between me and Theresa.
Why? Because she's just a little plain? Sometimes the plain ones can surprise you, Ethan, when they let their hair down.
That's ridiculous. And Theresa is not my type. We come from two different worlds. We don't have enough in common to last one date, let alone a lifetime.
How could Ethan say those things? Luis was right. He said that all rich people were different. I don't belong here. It's time for me to go home and take off this stupid disguise once and for all. It's time to say goodbye to Ethan. To my dreams. Once I walk out of this house, there'll be no turning back. If only I had been able to take off this disguise and show Ethan who I really am. If he would have gotten to know the real me, he would have fallen for me and dumped Gwen. We could have been so happy together. What's the use? It's too late now. It's all over. Goodbye, dreams.
Theresa, it's Mrs. Crane. Pick up, please.
Yes, Mrs. Crane?
Theresa, may I see you in the living room?
I'll be right down, Mrs. Crane. I have to accept it. No matter how nice the Cranes have been to me, no matter what Mrs. Crane says, I will still be her housekeeper's daughter. That's the way it is. And that's the way it always will be. I guess you wanted to talk about my quitting, Mrs. Crane. I know it was sudden, and I am sorry to leave you in the lurch like this. You deserve more of an explanation, but it's just so complicated. Well, it really doesn't matter anyway. You have been great to me, and I will never forget it. And I will always be thankful for the wonderful opportunity you gave me.
If it's such a wonderful opportunity, Theresa, why are you throwing it away?
I told you, I have classes in school and...
No. I don't think that's it. What aren't you telling me?
I can't talk about it. You wouldn't understand. No one does.
Try me.
Well, it's, I can't. Please, tell Ethan goodbye and good luck. He deserves it. He's the best. Goodbye, Mrs. Crane.
You're not going anywhere, Theresa.
Hello, Detective Lomax. I didn't realize you were here.
Theresa.
I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I've kind of had a tough day, and I want to get home. Thanks again, Mrs. Crane.
Hey, you're not going anywhere until you admit that you're Ethan Crane's stalker.
What?
You heard me. You're going to admit right here and right now to Mrs. Crane that you're the stalker they've been looking for.
There's no reason to browbeat her, Frank. Just look at me, Theresa. Just look at me and tell me it isn't true. Tell me Frank's made a big mistake.
I wouldn't make that kind of accusation if I wasn't 100% sure I was right, Mrs.
I want to
Crane.
hear it from her, Frank. Did you stalk my son, Theresa? Yes or no?
You want to know if I stalked Ethan?
That's what I asked, Theresa.
Well, as far as I know, a stalker is someone who wants to do harm to someone else. That's not me. I would never injure Ethan in any way. Mrs. Crane's son is a wonderful person. He's been very kind to me. Why would I want to hurt him?
I don't know. I wasn't hired to find out why. I was hired to find out who. People who stalk other people are unbalanced. Their motives are irrational.
But I am not unbalanced.
Then you're admitting you're the stalker.
No, I just told you I never stalked anyone, much less Ethan.
Sounds to me like...
Enough, Frank. You're setting Theresa, and as far as I can see, it is for no good reason. You have obviously made a mistake. She is not the stalker.
I was hoping it wasn't going to have to come to this. You know, I was hoping that Theresa here would admit her guilt and we could get this all over with. But it looks like I'm going to have to expose her for the liar that she is and prove to you once and for all that she's the stalker. There's only one way that I can convince you that Theresa's Ethan's stalker.
Well, I don't see how, Frank.
Well, there's one person who was present at each and every incident. There's one person that can identify Theresa as the culprit. Ethan. Is he at home here today?
Yes, he didn't go into the office because of his ankle.
Could you ask him to come in here? He's the key to wrapping this whole thing up since he was her victim.
Well, you haven't proved that to me yet, Frank.
Oh, well, Ethan's the one that suffered at her hand. Let him be the one to point the finger at her.
No, don't!
Why don't you want Ethan to come down here, Theresa?
That's obvious, Mrs. Crane. Theresa knows that Ethan will recognize her once we get her out of her disguise.
I am beginning to wonder, Theresa, why else wouldn't you want Ethan to come down here?
Because of his ankle. I mean, the whole reason why Ethan didn't go to work today is because it's so badly sprained. Why put him through some ridiculous wild goose chase when he's supposed to be resting?
If you're so concerned about Ethan's health, why don't you just confess that you attacked him?
Because I never did that.
All right, this is out of hand. In spite of Ethan's ankle, I think we'd all be better off if we just got it settled once and for all. And I hope you're wrong, Frank. Ethan, yes. Could you care a moment? It's very important.
You know, Theresa, I know that you're the stalker. And in a minute, so will Mrs. Crane and Ethan. Then it's jail for you, girl.